If you're an international student taking the SAT, I have a question for you. Have you ever reached the end of the English module and realized you only have 2 minutes, 3 minutes left? And suddenly you're panicking and guessing and skipping questions ahead. You don't know what to do, and it's just a mess afterwards. You might have even thought that English is your problem, but most of the time, it is not English that's your issue. It's not like your English is not fast enough. In this video, I'm gonna spend around 10 minutes with you, but I'm gonna explain a complete, exact pacing and timing strategy that's gonna help you increase your score. But in order to ace that SAT, we gotta be honest with ourselves. You gotta be honest with yourself. I'm not gonna show you magic tricks. I can't do any magic tricks. But these are things that experts have worked on, and they've been proven to improve students' scores. So if you're the kind of person to put in the work and get into that dream college of yours, keep watching. Hi, my name is Hossein. I'm a non-native English speaker, and I've been helping other international students improve their SAT English scores. Let's focus on one thing for now: finishing the module without feeling rushed. Let's start with part one. Get the easy points first. Most students begin at question number 1 and they just go up until question number 27. But that's usually not the optimal way. In the first part, you usually have reading heavy questions. So these are inference questions, interpretation questions, like you need to understand, you need to figure out what the author wants to say, what the message is. But in the second part, there's usually grammar, student notes, and transitions. The good thing about these questions is that there's a rule that applies to a lot of them. For many international students and even native speakers, these questions are easier. The second part is easier because they're based on rules and not about interpretation. For example, questions about punctuation. So here's what you're going to do. At the start of the module, just move to question number 15, 16, somewhere around there, and see if those questions are easier for you. They're most probably punctuation questions, grammar and conventions, things like that. And if they're easier, try to get those easy scores first. Go to question 15, 16, do the easy questions, and then get back to number 1, and you have time for those heavier reading questions. This might not work for every single student, but you should give it a try and see which questions are easier for you and get them first. Now let's talk about where your time is actually going. That's part 2. Avoid the time wasters at all costs. And the first time waster is rereading. It's quite self-explanatory. You read a sentence, it doesn't quite make sense, so you read it again, and you read it again, and again, and before you know it, you've spent 1 or 2 minutes on a part of the passage that's not even relevant to the question being asked. So read the question first, and usually the surrounding sentences in a passage help you understand it more. So if you don't completely understand a sentence, just move on, read the next sentence, see if it makes sense. Be quick. One sentence, okay, I understood 70% of it. Okay, move on to the next one. Maybe it helps you, and maybe it doesn't. We'll see how to handle that in the next part as well. Getting stuck between 2 answers. We've all been there. You've eliminated 2 answers and you're left with 2 other choices. But you can't decide between the 2. Is it B or is it C? Is it B? Is it C? You keep changing your mind and you don't realize how much time is being wasted over there. So what you can do is this. Try to see what's wrong with one of the choices instead of trying to figure out which one is correct. Try to see that wrong point. There has to be a word that makes one of them wrong, one idea, sometimes even a single word, as I said. SAT questions are often easier to solve through elimination rather than trying to find out which one is correct. But if you still can't decide, just pick one of them, mark for review, and move on. That's very, very important. Which takes me to the next point, refusing to move on. This one is quite straightforward. Some students try to answer every single question correctly at the first go. Don't be that person. Sometimes we fixate so much on a question that it kills our time and our motivation for the next 5 questions. Every question is worth the same. Don't let one question steal 5 points from you. Answer first reading. Some students think if they read the answer choices first, it's going to save them time. Most of the time, this is just a trap. You shouldn't do this. Most of the time. Because the test makers are very good at writing sort of distractors, so to speak. They are wrong answers, but they sound very beautiful and logical. And they sort of contaminate your brain before you even read the passage. Read the question first, then read the passage with a clean slate, trying to understand the author's intention while keeping that question in mind. I've talked about it in another one of my videos. And finally, you look at the options. Rushing the easy ones. This is one that many people don't really talk about. In a panic to save time for difficult questions, some students just fly through the easy questions. But that's, again, another trap. Every question is worth the same. So don't rush it. Even if it's easy, you want to be relaxed. That's the best sort of mental state to be in throughout the exam. Do not sacrifice a guaranteed point on question 2 just so you can have an extra 20 or 30 seconds on a very difficult inference question on question 12 or something. Part 3, use the superpower. The digital SAT has a superpower many people don't use. The Mark for Review tool. Let's say you reach an extremely hard question. You read some things and you don't understand it really well. You spend 15-20 more seconds on it and still nothing. It's like a brick wall. It's like zero, total confusion. Maybe you have eliminated no answers. Maybe you've eliminated one answer. Doesn't matter. But if you feel like you've hit a wall, here's what you should do. Pick one option, mark for review, move on. Don't feel like you have to get the question right on the first try. You'll get back to it later, don't worry. It doesn't mean you're not going to answer this one correctly. Our goal here is to collect as many points as possible before the time runs out. A difficult question is not really bad. If a question is hard, it's not bad. But if it steals 5 more points from you, that's bad. If it steals time from other questions, from easier questions, that's bad. Part 4, your new game plan. So here's your strategy for the next time you're taking a practice test. Step 1, start with the question types you're strongest at. Step 2, don't fall for the traps we talked about. Don't reread, don't waste too much time on a difficult question, none of that. And step 3, if a question is eating your time too much, pick a choice, mark for review, move on. No magic tricks, nothing too complicated, just smart time management. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe. And if you're one of those students who wants to put in the work and wants to join our community of other international students, all learning together, having private lessons, video courses, Q&A sessions with me, all sorts of goodies, the links are below.